From the Renaissance Hotel on Chicago's State Street, that great street, it's radio's biggest night, the 2008 Radio Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. Tonight, the Radio Hall of Fame proudly inducts the man who kept America up all night, Art Bell.
Our first inductee tonight is one of those guys who forged a community. His show, America Coast to Coast, is a national institution. Here to induct Art Bell is his business partner and close friend, the man who put Art Bell on radio stations nationwide, Alan Corbat. Alan Corbat.
My wife and I had just moved to the West Coast in the late 1980s, and like any good radio junkie, it was not long before I was up late scanning the radio dial. It was hard to miss KDWN blasting out from Las Vegas, and that's when I first heard Art Bell. Well, after about a week, I caught myself wondering what Art would be saying that night about some news story of the day. I knew at that moment that I was hooked. With nothing but unscreened calls and 50,000 watts, Art Bell managed to win me over. I became part of Art's overnight family. I respected his analysis of the news. I cared about the regular callers. I even missed them when they didn't call. I felt very much a part of something magical. At the time, I was building and programming a startup talker in Oregon, and I wanted Art Bell to do our overnights. Well, one thing led to another, and it wasn't long before we were syndicating Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell. The show was doing great, but one afternoon, Art called me to say that he was fed up doing politics. Ratings were good, but he wanted to switch to the paranormal, science, alternative science, and with things that go bump in the night. So I asked myself, could near-death experiences and visits to hell be that much worse than politics? Needless to say, we made the change, and it was pure magic. We built the show to approximately 525 affiliates, but the day that it all fell into perspective was when we finally cleared WABC. Both Art and I grew up listening to 77 WABC and all those great 60s jocks. It was fitting that Art be on there too. Nobody understands how to create theater of the mind like Art Bell. He seems to ask the questions we would ask or the ones that we wished we'd ask. I can think of no one more deserving for this very prestigious award.
From the high desert and the great American Southwest, I bid you all good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time zone you're in. This program covering all of the world, coast to coast, shore to shore. No matter where you are, we've got you covered on Coast to Coast AM. I'm Art Bell. There's a big argument about what grays are. Some people think they're robotic manufactured creatures. Others think they're biological entities. Sounds like you think they're biological entities.
They absolutely, in my experience, are.
An alien intelligence would have to do nothing more than manipulate a rock 5 to 7 miles in circumference toward the Earth. It would hit and virtually sterilize the Earth. And that would be that. I mean, life would be over. And it would be ready to be occupied in X number of years. How can you listen to these stories one after another, and not begin to believe, even if you have not seen with your own eyes? And I know it's so easy to be skeptical, and it's so easy to blow it off if you haven't seen with your own eyes. But even listening to a program of this sort, one after another, you don't honestly think all these people are making this up, do you?
Before I induct Art Bell, we have something special for him. Art's mother, Jane Gubayer, is 96 years old and can't be with us tonight. She sent us this message for her son.
Trey, you need to know that I've always been proud of you for everything you have done, small and large. My body is not cooperating with my wishes these days, so I will have to remain here and let this message speak for me tonight. I hope it conveys to you the depth of my bond to you. Enjoy your celebration, my son. Life is short, so take tonight's award to heart and experience it to the fullest. Am I proud of you? Yes, but you must know that I would be proud of you no matter what you did, for you are my son, and I love you dearly. Mom.
Our mom is a wonderful woman. It is now with great pleasure that I introduce one of my best friends and one of my very favorite broadcasters. And to say that, the National Radio Hall of Fame is proud to induct Art Bell.
Boy, that's hard to follow. Hi, Mom. I like being first. I've always loved being first. To me, being honored in the National Radio Hall of Fame as a pioneer is as good as it gets. We, not just me, include my late wife, Ramona. Married 16 years we were, and she was at my side every moment, and is surely at God's now. And my new wife, Erin, and my baby daughter, Asia, 17 months now. Alan Corbat, who introduced me, took my vision of a network and built it until we got so big we had to be eaten before we ate. At a national level, we were first to take talk radio to a very magical place far beyond politics or the everyday human condition, to a nightly journey to the center of the mind. God, it really was fun. We were first to use the internet as a partner for talk radio, first with streaming video, first with more than 90 seconds up here would ever allow me to articulate. So, yes, to be inducted as a radio pioneer is to me the highest honor, truly, any person in any profession could ever receive. So, to my mom in North Carolina, who I'll be on the way to see after this, and Alan and all the listeners of Little KNYE and my small town of Pahrump, Nevada, thank you, and thank you all.